Welcome back. Thank you. Podcast number 3. Welcome back. It's great to have you here. So, number 3. How we doing, Kyle?
Yeah, third time's a charm.
Yeah, amen. It's gotten even better. So
we got some interesting topics this week.
Exactly. But a lot of interesting things have happened so far.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. The Olympics opened last Friday. That was spectacular.
Great opener.
Yeah, it was pretty good. You can't complain. The United States isn't embarrassing themselves. Hey, whatever. I try having the TV going at all times with the Olympics going.
Go USA.
And I'll tell you what, they just got too much of the figure skating for my liking. I want more of the skiing and stuff, but
we'll get
it's
into
been
figure skating
entertaining
in a bit.
It's been entertaining to say the least. But I mean, whatever. What's it called? So the United States, we're in 5th. You know, hey, whatever.
And it's better than 17th in the world. What was that? World Freeness Index.
Freedom Index. Come on now,
yeah.
Kyle. So
Sorry.
Norway's taking the cake here. I do want to find it noteworthy and just comical that we got over here the OAR, which is the Olympic athlete from Russia.
Yeah.
Since Russia's not allowed to compete, there's yeah, exactly. So these OARs, the Olympic athlete from Russia, is the International Olympic Committee's designation of a select Russian athletes permitted to participate in the 2018 Olympics in Pyeongchang.
I watched him do some curling. I can't comment. I know nothing about curling, but it was cool.
Curling's
they literally just wore like a plain costume with a stripe on the back that says OAR.
Yo, you know what's more entertaining than curling? The American hillbillies trying to like recreate.
Oh my god!
have you seen them like trying to recreate curling? They're sitting there like with like a keg of beer, and there's people with brooms just like.
There's I saw, I forget, it was a men's college basketball team, but the ball boys do curling with balls and the squeegee floor mats for sweat. That's kind of funny, which I don't get, but they're really good. They can put it right in like the center logo every time.
Yo,
right, but anyways.
Okay, hold on. I know this like is totally off subject, but I used to wrestle in high school, and we had this big dude named Billy, and he was huge, and he was on a wrestling team, and he was like a big hairy guy, and there was one day in the wrestling locker room where he literally, first off, he shaved his chest hair to have a big arrow pointing down at his groin, and then he lathered himself in soap and just like slid like across the entire locker room, and we were all just like, what? Like this dude was definitely a breed of his own. Cool subject from the Olympics is we got the youngest people to ever win a gold medal in the Olympics. United States, 2 actually 17-year-olds.
Yep.
We
5
got,
years younger than me, right? Yeah, 6 years.
Right? And that's the worst part. You're sitting here, you watch, like, I'm a big Buckeyes, OHIO, baby.
Yep.
I watch the Buckeyes. These kids are, like, well younger than me. There was, like, I was in college, I was watching these kids, I was like, well, they're my age. That's
I'm in college
sad, but whatever, but, like, I'm here with them. Now it's like, all right, these guys are younger than me, and they could eat my lunch.
17 years old.
17
Miss
years
Chloe
old,
Kim and Mr. Red Gerard, dude. If you ever need someone to shotgun a beer and send you motivation to pump you up, I definitely know someone.
So apparently Red's mom, was sending him videos to pump him up.
Shotgun and beers
before he went out to get his gold medal snowboarding.
But before he even made it out, what happened?
Yeah, so first off, this kid, he's awesome.
Yeah.
So people are like, he's giving us a bad rep for the United States. No, he is the epitome of a 17-year-old boy in America. First, he sleeps in, oversleeps. Classic. Then he forgets his coat.
Classic 17-year-old.
Then he wins and accidentally says the F word on live television. Hey, can you blame a kid for being excited for winning the gold medal? He's 17.
He won a gold medal. Go
he's giving us a bad rep. No. He's giving the perfect representation
Tell me your son didn't forget
of a 17-year-old boy
this morning.
Exactly.
Because I guarantee he did. I guarantee he said, "Oh, it's cold."
Yeah.
But Red, back to you. Dude,
yeah. Yo,
good on
so
you.
tell us about Chloe Kim.
Miss Chloe Kim, champion performance. I watched this run. Dude, I was just saying, after people fall, I probably couldn't just jump the hill. Like, that is so impressive, Chloe Kim. Good for you. She gave all glory back. Her family was there supporting. Her dad was there. First one she went over to after her run. Good for you. But she also 17 years old, bringing home gold for USA snowboarding. So we obviously have some star talent in America. And what else could we ask for?
Hey.
Yeah.
Dude, the youngest gold medalist. Could you imagine winning a gold medal at 17?
Dude, a gold, like the Olympics at 17.
Exactly.
Yeah. And she was too young for the Olympics 4 years ago. Not sure where they were, but she was 13 and they wouldn't let her in.
Yo,
she probably would have won gold. That's probably why.
100%. Well, hey, aren't there more events coming up for snowboarding? There have to be.
I have no idea. My favorite is speed skating. Dude, that's incredible.
And they fly, man.
Yeah. Here we go, USA there. I'll be watching.
Yeah. there was a meme I saw.
Wait. Oh, right, yeah,
There's a meme I saw of the bobsled for North Korea, and it said, anybody else think North Korea's bobsled looks a little fishy? And it's 4 dudes running, and they're holding like a nuke. It's literally like a missile that they're about to like jump in. It's too perfect. Dude. Yo, but Celine or Simone Biles is 20. I mean, she's pretty young too.
Yep.
And think about how much dough that girl's running in or rolling in with
but the
advertisement. Oh, of course. She's so fantastic. Like, that girl's phenomenal, and she's gorgeous. She's just hey, whatever.
Yay high.
Right?
Wow.
Dude, gymnasts are the queen, like the cream of the crop right there. Hey, so.
Dude, the cream of the crop? Gymnasts.
Yo, so moving forth, what else? You got anything on Kim?
No, she's great for her.
So tell me about our boy.
Our boy, Mr. Adam Rippon. Dude, first of all, you're a hero. You're an Olympian. You're from USA. Good for you. You deserve it all. But now here's where a little controversy comes into play. Mr. Mike Pence, also a great guy. But in 2000...
I'm sorry, my laugh is...
Yeah. In 2000, year 2000, I was 5 years old. 7? 6?
Yeah.
Dude, sorry.
7.
But Mike Pence supported gay conversion therapy, which was basically just therapy to it was sexuality. In 2000s, this was unheard of.
But don't get it twisted.
No.
It wasn't like we're lobotomizing people.
No.
Or electrocuting them.
It was year 2000.
It was like, here in verse 3 in the Bible.
And it was his Senate campaign where he supported it. So, moving forward, Adam Rippon made light of this circumstance.
Hold on. But don't take away the big gripe.
No.
Mike Pence is a homophobic asshole because he upheld the right of a bakery for not...
allowing someone...
This bakery didn't want to make cakes for gay marriages, which is wrong. Come on, grow up. It's 21st century. Why would you look away money? Whether you disagree or not. It's just, you make cakes. But to say that somebody has to make cakes against their own will, like, come on now. So, the man supported the First Amendment of freedom and was like, hey, you don't have to make cakes for people who you don't want to make cakes for. But he's the asshole.
Yeah, he is. He's probably a homophobe. We know that. So, Adam Rippon brought this up. And good for you, Adam Rippon, first openly gay male athlete to win a medal in the Olympics for USA.
Which is...
Yeah, outstanding. But he went at Trump, brought this up. And in an interview after his performance, he said, I have nothing to say about him. And then his next quote was that, I'm lucky his legislation hasn't affected my life. Mr. Mike Pence...
it hasn't. Everybody acts that, like, the day that he won presidency, they acted like the world was burning around them the next day. Really, the world hasn't changed outside your door a lick, has it, Kyle?
Dude. But anyway, so Mike Pence, being the homophobe he is... It hasn't.
Moving forth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is
the good part. Good on you, Mike Pence, you homophobe. You said I want you to know we are all for you. Don't let fake news distract you. I am proud of you and all of our great athletes. My only hope for you and all of Team USA is to bring home gold. Go get them. And if that's not supporting another American fellow, I don't know what is. So
hey,
what's
Mike Pence, the epitome of tolerance?
Adam Rippon, you have your views. Come together. Let's go win another medal.
Tolerance isn't acceptance; it's tolerance.
But
boom,
we support each other. Fuck yeah,
America,
yeah.
America.
But also voice your opinion if you want. Mike Pence will just be a nice guy back, I guess.
He's just a demon.
He will protest the NFL.
Right. But hey, we're doing all right, you know.
XFL. We got XFL talking about the NFL.
I can't wait for that.
It's good the XFL is starting 2020 after another election.
I hope good old Johnny tries to resurrect his career in that, and just he will be a instrumental figure in the resurrection of that league.
My brother wanted to play, so yeah,
that'd be crazy. Yeah. That'd be so awesome.
Right.
He's good enough at Fortnite. I mean,
dude,
his brother was so good at Fortnite that he would just like pick up the controller and just like win and just be like, whatever.
And then like 40 minutes later, 2 hours into the night.
We were just talking about Trudeau and those damn Canadians, and they're in third.
Dude.
Can we also acknowledge, am I the only one that thinks it's ridiculous that we do not base the scoring system off of how many, like, golds should be worth more than silvers and bronze. Like, Germany has 9 golds. Huh? Like, why are you 2 behind someone who has 6 golds, the same amount of bronzes as you, but they do have 5 more silvers? But it doesn't change the fact you have 9 golds. Is there any other country that has 9 golds? No.
We would have 19 points in this system. What would the top? Norway would have 18. That would be 30. Wait, go back up. Norway would have 36. We'd be getting double. I mean, we are getting double. That makes sense.
What?
Okay, yeah. We got double. If you counted a gold as 3 points, a silver as 2, a bronze as 1, Norway would have 36 points. I'm in law school, not math school. I don't know. But the United States, at the same rate, with 5 golds, 1 silver, 2 bronze, would have 15 plus 2, 17 plus 2, 19. 19 times 2, 38.
I mean, I guess it equates out.
I don't know if that's just a weird coincidence.
It's just a coincidence, because let's be honest, like, the numbers could fall as they may. You could have all golds, somebody could have all bronze, and technically you got the same amount of medals.
True.
That's insane. Yeah. Like, come on. All you got to do is get third?
Germany, 9 goals. So, let's
what does that
Germany.
mean, though? That all you got to do is get third?
27.
What does it mean to get first if the person that's getting third is getting the same amount of points as you?
Exactly.
That's insane.
Well, you get to step up and wear gold. I mean,
I don't like that.
I want to wear gold.
I would
Germany,
not want. I'd be
9
like,
goals,
I just want
27
third place.
Points.
Who wants to walk into the
2
Olympics
silvers
going like, I just
plus
want
4,
third
that's
place.
31. Plus 4 bronzes, 35. They're still under Norway. It makes sense, dude. Our system makes sense.
This is a coincidence. You cannot deny the fact that if you had
I want
Germany
the Olympic Committee
golds
to check this video out.
Yeah. I'm calling it.
I think we're on
calling
something.
the BS. We need a point system. I'm just saying. Because now I don't strive for gold. I just strive for third place. I just want third place.
Yeah, third place. You're teaching our kids third place is okay.
Well, everybody gets a participation trophy anymore, so what does that change?
All right. All right. Coincidence, I just clicked on Facebook.
Yeah.
Actually.
Oh, God.
Facebook is a key news source.
Well, as we were talking about last podcast, how like everybody just, logs in to see what do I need to be upset about today. It doesn't take away from the fact that Facebook's a very powerful tool in like what we're doing today in our daily lives. Too many people look at it for what's like it has replaced the news in many ways. What's funny is, hilarious. I'm on the phone with my mom, and she's talking about I couldn't even remember, but it was something like some mainstream like meme kind of joke, and it's being reported on the news. And you're like, Mom, that's just something that's just been going around Facebook.
Yep.
But the news now is reporting these kind of things because what do they want? They want these parents to stay hip with their kids. Yep. They also want this has just become the news. Our news has become nonsensical. The Kardashians are news. Tide Pods are the news. So not only has our news become nonsensical, we're not learning about our relationship with North Korea and South Korea, and we go log on to SNL, and SNL goes, Obama. Remember, Obama did not create ISIS. It was George W. Bush. Okay, now we're just saying literal lies, just straight lies. So because people don't because they do. Because people don't read, people don't know the history of what's going on, so they just go, okay, yeah. And so we live in this world now where, one, we don't get the real news. Like, tell me what's going on in the world. Like, these sanctions, I can't wait to get my one buddy on to talk about North Korea and just, like, their relationship with South Korea and how South Korea paid North Korea. Like, North Korea would never go and meet with any of these world leaders. South Korea would pay them to come meet. North Korea would come, show up, take the money, and leave. And now that there's, like, the UN, the United States, all these different entities are putting sanctions on North Korea, like, South Korea is not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
So they have to come and meet on their own accord. But that's a whole rabbit hole. But those are the kind of things I want to be learning. I don't want to be learning about this nonsense.
Was that a pun?
And what's funny is my mom's calling me and she's like talking about Facebook
Was
stuff.
rabbit hole a pun for future discussion?
Stay away from the rabbit hole, hippies. Moo. So, speaking of Facebook, let's kick it off with one of the cool subjects, right? So, we got Unilever.
Yep.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't really even know what Unilever was.
Yes.
This whole kind of subject was brought upon me. So Unilever is it is the leading company for advertising in the world. It advertises on Facebook, Google.
3 think tanks going on there soon.
Hell yeah. You already know. We're already in the works. Not
fake news, though.
Fake news. Stay away from that fake news. But it really works on Google, Facebook, YouTube, and it is the leading advertising. Procter & Gamble is one of their biggest clients, and they're just a huge conglomerate.
They're on Facebook. Most important part, they advertise on Facebook, on Google, YouTube, but.
Right.
Advertising company, social media.
And so I didn't even realize how big this company was. And they literally are the foundational leading company in that industry. So in a speech on Monday at an advertising conference in California, Unilever's chief marketing officer, Keith Weed, said that their company cannot operate in an environment where consumers do not trust what they see online. Go figure. I don't trust a damn thing anymore.
No.
But Unilever, as a trusted advertiser, does not want to advertise on platforms which do not make a positive contribution to society, Weed says. He also says that Unilever will not invest in platforms or environments that do not protect our children or which create division in society and promote anger or hate. That's a great mantra, but, like, what does that mean? Right? He also further goes on to say that, like, fake news, racism, sexism, terrorists, spreading messages of hate, toxic content directed toward children, it is in the digital media industry's interest to listen and act on this before viewers stop viewing, advertisers stop advertising, and publishers stop publishing. Which is, it's huge. But, okay, Kyle's got some fake news for us that he's going to point out, but it's just crazy that it's all clickbait. We don't have to put what's real. We don't even need you to read our shit. You just need to look at the title, click on it, go, ooh, picture, whatever, and then leave. Literally, it's clickbait. Because the money is in your click. The more clicks I get, the more I charge the advertisement on my page. And so Unilever's got a really good point. And when Kyle originally asked me how I felt about this, I was really, really appalled.
That was my first question, right back.
But you know what? Now that I'm discussing it, dude, I'm thinking we need to set a standard that we can't have the bullshit lingering. The bullshit is lingering. Someone needs to put it out.
Personally, Facebook is, it's like a toxic dump. Like, it's like throw it in there. Like, yeah. And you, like, being on Facebook, subject yourself to those opinions. True. But if you will subject yourself, you need to be smart enough to know what is right from wrong, where it comes from, and why it's being published. And I know many people who have many views on Facebook, like one buddy of mine who posted his opinion on Facebook and gave sources to every line he wrote. And that is the stuff that I will read and be like, it's true.
You win.
But
True.
if someone has this long paragraph with 19 spelling errors and 3 wrong grammar things and all of the above, like, that is what you got to watch out for. And that's what kind of this is that toxic environment that they don't want to advertise on.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry.
So no. Exactly. And so they're criticizing the pressure on social media, like giants like Facebook and Google, and they want them. But the biggest problem here is they want them to change the way they deliver their content.
Yeah.
And so last year at a conference with Procter & Gamble, which is one of the world's largest advertisers also, issued an ultimatum to tech companies saying it would no longer pay for digital ads or services if they don't meet these standards. Which is crazy. So now you got Procter & Gamble and Unilever coming out here saying, if you guys do not start coming in and succumbing to our standards, we're pulling out. Now, Mark Zuckerberg is a money man. He knows where the money's at.
He is.
And
Good on you, Mark Zuckerberg. You did it.
But the scary part of this entire thing is, where does he not, like where's the line drawn in morality and a dollar bill? Like, are you going to succumb to these two big conglomerates because they tell you this is what we want? We want censorship. We want this stuff.
You can't do it.
You can't.
Because that is a business enterprise running your life.
And I feel like the second
censored.
the human, like the American society finds out that you have now censored what we're getting because you're allowing these conglomerates
to make
you're gonna
money.
lose Facebook people, man.
Money. No,
That's a moment I'll
Facebook.
drop off that shit.
Yeah, you will, but guess who's not?
Everyone else.
Thank you.
Very true.
Yeah.
I can't deny that.
True.
It's just crazy that you have these entities that threaten to say that they're going to pull their ads from these social media sites and the social media
agree,
sites.
Though, those
that's scary as hell.
This is toxic. It's not good. Such information gets spread like flies. But like that's just part of society. If they censor what you see, you're not seeing everything. You're seeing their life. Do you want to see their life? Or you just want to.
Yo, plus everybody lives in
peacock. Open your.
Yo, but also everybody lives in tomorrow's controversy.
Yeah.
You know, like it's always like, hey, I'm worried about like. Does anybody give a hell about Logan Paul and his stupid video? No, I would never watch that video. It disgusts
YouTube,
me. But at the same time,
just take it off.
It's forgotten. It's yesterday's news. Now we're worried. Like, now what am I triggered about? Like, you know, like everybody's looking for the next thing to be upset about.
I know what I got triggered about, so that'll come. Next.
Yo, what was the fake news that you had for us?
What fake news?
Remember the article?
No, I was going to do that. Well, I guess
this is the perfect opportunity.
Our next topic: bubble pop, confetti. The school shooting, and it's tragic,
right?
Very tragic, and we do send condolences to Florida.
It is the next one.
And the families that lost significant others. But there's Facebook as a toxic wasteland. People, you can share something, and I'll share an article, and this is the real life example of what I found. Hopefully I can find it again. But it was an article that said, student holds other student hostage in West Virginia high school or something. Right after this shooting on Facebook. And people are going to be like, share.
Now, the real boom, Cal's point right there.
And they're not going to open that. And guess me trying to make sure, I was like, that's not good. Like, we had one yesterday. I want to be informed. I click on it. It's from 2015. And you tell me how many people out of 10, I won't give my opinion, on Facebook will look at that and just be concerned, click share, not read it, not open it, see the title, and be...
Oh my God! And share.
And it's above
how many
7.
people read? The amount of people that don't even take the time to read an article. Why do you think things like Now This spread like wildfire? Why do they spread like wildfire?
Yep.
It's because they don't write articles. You know, there's so many.
They have these little catchy videos. I'm not gonna lie, like
a minute, like 2.
Nah, that's a good one. Like, I'm watching.
They're all. It is a very good way to get updates on what's going on in the world. You know, when a shooting happens, when an earthquake happens, when a tragedy happens, this is where you find out. It's a very good way to get the updates on the world.
So anyways,
but at the same time, it's also got wastes of baloney, like straight baloney and rhetoric that lies. But we're gonna get
just
to
like
this.
Have it that Facebook from. I'm going to give the company's perspective. Looking in on Facebook and wanting to represent a company, a big-time company, and you're going to say, we're going to put you on this toxic dump ground that everyone believes everything else is fake. Would you want, like, if that was the opening intro of your business meeting with this advertiser, yes or no? No. So I get it. But at the same time, Facebook is a human creation in social media. Anyone's allowed on there. Anyone has access. There's no privacy personally.
Right.
And guess what? You are subject to these 2 billion other people.
Yo, something that I just thought of.
And it's also good.
But we take what Unilever and Procter and Gamble and all these other entities are doing. You know, money talks, people walk. You know, so when they're the ones holding the dollar bill and they have the control, and then now we supplement that with what just happened with the internet.
Yep. We should talk about that sometime.
Oh, we definitely have to.
Never mind. But back to it.
But when we supplement how now you're going to have to pay for every individual thing you do on the internet because of what is it even called? I can't even remember now. That's how sad. I lost my train of thought. What's it called? What are you watching?
Dude, this girl's getting dragged around at a police station or a candy store or something. She stole something and now they're like using excessive force apparently. I don't know. That was my bad. I got lost in that. That's Facebook. See? That you just
hold on. Now I'm determined to
the name of the internet act?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm determined. Internet Freedom Act? No. That was just trumped by net neutrality. That's
Net Neutrality Act. Guess what? You might be paying for Netflix.
So, okay. Back on track. Sorry, guys. I couldn't think of the term. All right. So, when you supplement these conglomerates who have the control with the dollar bill, and you supplement that with net neutrality.
Yep.
I mean, now what? Like, what are we getting? Like, I'm going to be honest with you. Some of the craziest things that I've ever experienced in my life is accidentally going down the rabbit hole of searching a couple wrong things on the internet and just slowly snake into some scary stuff. But that doesn't take away from the importance of what the internet is. The internet is free. It is nothing. When you take what the internet is, take it for what it is literally all these cords, everything connected to one big system. Like, we are all one big, digital brain. And now we're going to go, Facebook can stop this. And net neutrality says you have to pay extra for this. And, at what point are we, not getting the freedom of what the internet is? The internet is what it is. Where would your intelligence... I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I'm the smartest person you're ever going to meet. But I'm not an idiot.
Say the same
okay?
for me.
So if that being the case, I would like to attribute a lot of the things that I know to just the convenience of having quick, knowledge at the tip of your fingers. Wikipedia is just there. I could pull up anything. Now you're going to say, if you want Wikipedia, you got to play. Well, no, they've totally altered what you're able to accomplish in that. And even if you do, that doesn't take away from the Swiss Army knife utility that it still gives you.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, if you cite Wikipedia, you're a moron. But if you're trying to get a quick understanding to free yourself from being a moron on any subject,
Wikipedia.
You could quickly pull up Wikipedia and you know.
How do you even... never mind.
But the fact of the matter is, the internet is supposed to be like this free-flowing...
It's this pot.
Yes, it's the pot of human intelligence. I mean, it is... Imagine if Socrates was alive today and he could see...
It's literally a boiling
connection
pot.
of boom.
People toy with the internet. So you have all your opinions, and we're stirring it around, and we got the left shitheads and the hippie liberals. You got all of them. We're stirring them all together, and we're gonna throw in gun control. You're gonna see how it mixes.
It ain't mixing.
And some people
sit there like a.
And then we're gonna
curd.
Then we're gonna get a ladle. We're gonna get gun control out of there. Bad idea. So we're stirring this pot. And then let's throw in 2020 presidential election.
And Kanye
over.
and Kid Rock and The Rock.
Jenner has a kid. Oh, no. Eagles win the Super Bowl.
Trump's military parade.
Trump tweet. Guess
Trump
what?
Tweet.
You're gonna end up with some soup you don't like.
Well, it's fact.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, humans. This is what you need to remember. There are 7.5 billion people in the world. 350 million of them are part of your tribe. Get to know them. Tolerate them.
Let's
You gotta like them all.
Mike Pence. This goes back to Mike Pence.
There ain't a bathroom for all you know.
Yeah, no. Mike Pence, we're supporting everyone. Jesus. All right.
Yo, so you were talking about school shootings. Take this serious, man.
Now, seriously, again, condolences.
Yo,
condolences.
Yeah, no.
But
this is honestly sickening how just desensitized we have become to school shootings. It happens and you just go, there's another one.
This comes up back to Facebook, and coincidentally, we are seeing in 45 days of 2018, we have seen 18 school shootings. Supposedly,
if you see that,
please look that up.
That is appalling. It is so false, it's gross.
Yes. Now, I do characterize some of them as handguns being discharged on a school ground. That is a good rule to follow.
But that's not a mass shooting.
That's not a mass shooting. Three mass shootings. The
statistic is such a lie.
Now,
3 mass shootings.
Dragging that down from 18.
It doesn't take away a gun being fired off and hitting drywall. That should not be happening in a school anywhere.
No.
That is so scary.
Mass shootings, 3 in 45 days. 3. Most recent being in Florida. But that is 1 every 15 days. 1 every 15 days. No one in this world wants to see 17 children die. With that being said, wait, let me ramble for a little bit. No one wants to see that. With that being said, you calling out each other on social media, on the news, saying, we need to take away guns. Don't take away my guns. Guess what? You should take away some guns, but we should also definitely have some guns. Because guess what? There's toleration. In Florida, you can literally walk in and buy a gun. And the kids' collection, might I add, was extensive.
But that doesn't mean that he was buying them at the store. That means he got them from his dad. That means he got them from somewhere. Gun shows. Those are the sketchy shops.
But
you know what I'm saying?
With that being said,
we need a more strict system.
You saying, take away the guns, guess what? You take away the guns, this kid still got his hands on them. What now?
Everybody's got the guns. The fact of the matter is, I got my guns. So unless you go and collect them all and take them, guess what? We're still going to have them.
No one's taking your guns.
They pass down. My dad's got his dad's. I got mine. Yeah. My kid's going to have a whole slew coming down to him, right? You got to take them. Or, the fact of the matter is, the guns today are not the guns we used to have. When I say I got these guns, I have from World War II, a little 22 short that can barely kill a squirrel,
Now,
this thing's ping.
The kid in
today,
Florida,
we've got a submachine gun.
AR-15.
He had an AR-15?
With multiple magazines. And guess what? He dropped it in the school and walked out with the students. That's deadly. Kid at 19 can blend in with a high school and do that and cause that much damage and walk out. Like, so with that being said, I support regulation. I'll put it out there.
We need that.
Definitely.
Like, that's necessary.
And guess what?
But what does that mean? Hold on. When you say that, what does that mean?
I think it means, personally, my personal opinion, no factual basis, this is how I believe the best system would work. Federal gun registry, serial number linked to purchaser above the age of 21, federal guideline.
Boom, boom.
With background check, ID.
Boom.
And guess what? Yes, it's a fucking hassle.
But it doesn't matter. We can trace you.
But guess what? We can trace you.
That gun will come back to you. It's bullet, everything.
We know
comes
who
back
it is,
to you.
How did it get there. We can track it. And guess what? It's on the government then.
Boom.
If we hate the government.
Exactly. And coming back to, it always comes back around. With Facebook, you've got men that are on my Facebook page, and they're sitting there calling out Congress and cussing out politicians and, attacking the right, and ignoring the left, but also attacking the left, but hating the government. And it's all Congress's fault. We need more legislation. But what they ignore is, all right, and now, we as a society need to make a conscious decision.
Yes.
We have decided that it is scary and regime-like to have soldiers walking the halls of our schools. We don't want that. That's scary. Okay, so if that's something we don't want, then at what point, what do you want Congress to do? What do you what do you genuinely want them to do? Instead of you just squawking and yelling through Facebook and crying for the right to take away our guns and it's all of the conservatives' fault. Why don't we sit back and just what do you genuinely want? You have to concede that the bad guys will always have their guns. I don't care what you say. You have to concede that.
Yeah.
Nonetheless,
here, the kid got the gun.
Exactly. A kid got the gun. No matter what, they get the guns. Secondly, it shouldn't be just so free-flowing that the ammunition and these very high artillery guns are easily obtainable. These guns are insane. The military can barely get their hands on them, and we got civilians getting them.
With
That's
that
wrong.
Being said, Florida gun law.
Well, Texas, California. You ever gone to the gun range in Texas?
But where it happened.
Where it happened. Nevada?
State law does not require a permit or license for someone to own a gun. That's literally unidentification, walk in, purchase it, leave.
Right.
That's how I take that. Gun sellers don't have to get a state license to sell firearms. So you're telling me there's not an expo in Orlando, Florida, someone rolls in with $400 in cash, says, I want that Glock. The guy says, all right, let's sign the papers. The guy says, I have $500 in cash. I want that Glock, and it doesn't disappear. You're kidding yourself.
Right. Yeah, that's very true.
They're still gonna get the guns.
Well, okay.
But if we make it strict,
we gotta look at this. All right. So you gotta concede that they're always gonna get the guns, right? On top of that, we can't just let it free flow that everybody just gets bullets and takes stuff and whatever. But there needs to be regulation. So there needs to be an understanding that guns are a way of life. We all agree that nobody should have, a missile launcher. Nobody should have funny side tangent.
Yeah. Elon
Musk, who's just taking the world and running with it, literally just making strides for the human existence. He's trying to, put that super system under LA and New York where it's little pods that just shoot you and you can get to either side of this massive city in seconds, minutes, just boom, they get you there. He's trying to do the system. He's got his own space company that's just making strides, self-landing rockets. Well, the only reason I bring Elon Musk in because he just created and put on the market a flamethrower. He's we always have in movies and stuff and show it's always taught nobody makes a flamethrower. So he just made made a flamethrower, like a legitimate flamethrower. It's sold out. He made $50 million, like right there. Boom. Made them, sold them on the spot. Moo. He's gonna make more, I'm sure. They're coming somewhere.
He's a genius,
dude. He's taking the world and run. But how funny is that?
He's
sitting
one of
here.
those people.
But dude, he just sold out on flamethrowers. Let's not take away from the fact that this dude, for fun, made toy real flamethrowers.
Do you know the price of one flamethrower?
Let's look it up. Let's look it up. You look it up.
Yeah,
Elon Musk flamethrower. But how funny is that, man? That this dude just was like, we talk about it. Like, there's no one ever thought of like somebody's actually gonna make flamethrowers like as a gun for people that. And now we have it. We have no regulation on that shit.
$500.
I would buy that for $500, dude. That looks like straight out of Halo.
It does.
Like, it's so cool looking. It's like a legitimate gun.
Is that Fortnite's new gun?
Yo, did you see they came out with something?
Yeah, it's an impact grenade.
What does it do?
Impact grenade?
Because I got it, but I couldn't throw it. Like, I didn't have an opportunity to throw it. Yeah, and I was afraid
I haven't played today.
Dude, I need to see what it does.
Hey,
I
if you
picked
play
up
Fortnite, good on you.
It's a great game.
But anyway, so
it's an
school shooting again.
Well, hold on. So these guns, like, people are coming up with new guns that have been fictional for us, and we have no regulation on those. You can just buy flamethrowers.
So now I'm going to hit a real controversial topic. Vegas.
Boom.
Bump stock. So the bump stock that was used in Vegas kind of turns a semi-automatic rifle into an automatic rifle. Now, personal views on that is that I feel like if you're smart enough, you could make that. Because you need a spring, I'm assuming. And it's probably a lot of force. I'm going to, like, not a gun person. I don't own guns. My stepfather has guns. He does very well with them. He knows what he's doing. But I was never raised on guns. That being said, if you own a semi-automatic rifle, I'm sure you can think of something to have that bounced off your shoulder and just shoot. So outlawing bump stocks, what's it going to do? Hassle. So,
right.
But also in Vegas, how does the size of a hotel like that let all those guns come in? And how does that guy have all those rounds?
No.
How
Hold
does
on.
he have
You
all
cannot
those...
hold that against a hotel. Okay, do I think there's a possibility for conspiracy? Sure, whatever. Those are definitely some open windows.
Yeah.
You go down those. There's some videos out there that'll make you think twice. But at the same time, you can't take away from someone like Dan Bilzerian, who was standing there and was like, "Yo, I saw some woman's head blown off right next to me."
True American tragedy.
Like legitimate. But you can't hold it against a hotel, because what are hotels going to... Are they supposed to now check everybody's luggage?
No, you
I'm going to get the fuck out of my luggage, man. How am I supposed to get my joints in there? Like, leave my fucking...
It's legal over there.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm saying, leave my luggage alone.
Oh, also, fun fact. PA, first medicinal marijuana sales were made today. And this was obviously courted way before we got the research project, so...
True. So,
anyways, so back, but anyway,
yeah,
so
you were talking about Vegas. Why?
I'm going to propose a question. Constitutional Second Amendment says you have the right to bear arms, arms being plural. Should one person be limited in the amount of firearms they can own? Because he had, like, a lot. He was packing.
But he wasn't getting them legally. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of those, he was a rogue FBI agent, getting them through rogue FBI sources, and he was traveling from place to place. He had a place in Florida, and the neighbors were like, "Yo, we saw him, like, come in. He didn't have any furniture, nothing. He came in, like, once or twice, and then never came back." And you were like, this dude wasn't a normal guy.
No.
But it doesn't take away from the tragedy committed. But
how do you pick up on these non-normal
like, how about
people?
this, though? Like, yo.
Oh, wait.
No, but he was supposed to...
Yeah. Number of guns.
I have no clue.
Yeah. I mean, I would say...
But it doesn't, like...
I don't think it can be measured, because you can have one gun with thousands of rounds.
It doesn't matter. Like, the amount of guns doesn't matter. You have two hands.
That's true.
Like, you're not a fucking octopus. Like, you're not going to sit there and hold 8 guns and, like... Drrr, like, at some point, like, yo...
Yeah.
Have as many guns as you want. How many can you... Like, unless you build an army, like, yo, I lived in Warbler's Roost. Like, we got all the white people on Warbler's Roost. We're here and I can't take... Like, come on. Until you have, like, an army of people, these guns, like, it doesn't matter how many guns you have. It literally doesn't.
Yeah, I was asking, so I don't care.
Because I think of, like, somebody that... Okay,
you'll have one gun in your hand at a time.
You may not like hunting. You may not. But in the name of tolerance, where I have to live in a world that might go to jail for not calling you elf or pixie or fox or Z, like, you need to let me hunt. Like, there's a human instinct to like to do that. I'm not being wasteful in that, like, you eat the same person that's sitting there eating a burger or cracking some eggs is going like, hunting is bad. I like my puppy dog. Like, no, I'm not going and shooting your pets. All right? Like, I'm going into the wilderness. I'm doing what man has done for years. And there's an innate thing inside of us that it's not like I like to kill. There is a tribal, like, thing in liking killing something and eating that, like eating real food that you obtained. And for you to sit there and say, we need to abolish that, but, you know, we need to have unisex bathrooms for 3% of the population and all this other nonsense. Like, what is tolerance to you? Is tolerance something for you to, control me? Or is tolerance something where you literally tolerate somebody you don't like? Because you ain't making me, you ain't tolerating me.
You could say anything to me, and I told him this earlier, I'll go do my own thing. I don't care.
Right.
Because I know that conversation is not going to change anything.
What?
Like, you come up to me and say, this needs to happen. I'm going to be like... Let's do it. And I'm going to leave. Because, you know...
Sony needs to stop making those movies.
Yeah. Wait, what was I talking about earlier?
Modern warfare.
Back to shootings. Oof.
Right. Hold on. Before we get to modern warfare... We need to talk about the thing that predicates that.
What is...
So on Facebook, I come across a Now This video. We were talking about how nonsensical Now This has become because it's a waste of our time and our existence. Yes. But Now This, who also does kind of keep you updated in what's going on in the world, it also has a very inherent bias. It's so biased that it's not even normal. Like it's like... Do you think you could be so one-sided that nobody would pick up on it and just be like, we just follow you blindly like sheep? It's kind of gross. But they posted a real, like, breaking news article on how Peter the Rabbit, right? That's the movie?
Yeah.
Peter the Rabbit is like a kid's movie. I know I came across it as a kid, but I wasn't really into it that much.
I think it was more a story, though.
Right. It's definitely a fable. And the Rabbit movie just came out, Sony Pictures, Peter Rabbit, and... there's an objection. Literally, like 3 moms tweeted is really what Now This cited. And there's a collection of mothers that are enraged over the fact that Peter the Rabbit uses a berry. So in the movie, there's this like guy who's trying to keep the rabbit from like messing with his garden, I'm guessing. I don't know. He doesn't like the rabbit and he's trying to kill the rabbit. Like very like it's not even nice. Like he is genuinely trying to kill the rabbit. That is fact. So anyway, the rabbit takes a berry, throws it in the guy's mouth, and knowing that it would give him an allergic reaction, and the guy gets an allergic reaction and whatever. The parents, the mothers, are outraged because this is insensitive to kids with allergies.
How about...
Like, at what point do we draw the line?
Instead of regulating what your child sees, show them that and say, don't do that.
Don't eat the berry, boy. Or don't watch the movie.
Hot. Don't touch it. Guess what? You touch the stove, you learn it's hot. You don't do it again.
So the reason I bring this up, because I think this is just going to be, we're not going to get really dived down into it, but it's just like a fun little thing that I do find comical, is too many people also commented like, oh, this has just been a funny thing for the day because it's just insane how this developed. But I posted the video because the video myself I found just like ridiculous. Like, Sony Pictures legitimately apologized for their insensitivity. And it's like, seriously, when you give in to, like, 3 moms on Twitter, you give these crazies power. Stop giving them power. So, I thought that was insane, and controversial or not, I posted a video, and it says, these are... Oh, we got Tapestry down. And pause. Ready? All right, so now that we're back. So this video is about Peter the Rabbit throwing a berry. Moms are enraged over throwing berries and having insensitivity towards allergic reactions.
Yep.
That being the case, I, controversial or not, posted the video and I said, these are the hippie liberals that shouldn't be allowed to raise children because they only pass their insanity onto more people.
Yeah.
If you don't think this is insanity, I don't care what you say. What's funny is now this is my tangent of the day. Many people felt compelled to attack because it involved an attack on liberals. Not diving too deep in the nonsensical cry, like just the joke of an argument all these people were bringing up. There were main points of, I agreed with them on an ideological level more than they were willing to admit. Secondly, they all agreed that this case was legitimately insanity. Like, being upset over a rabbit in a kid's movie throwing a berry in a guy's mouth is a joke. And for a multi-billion-dollar company to apologize because of it is
the advertisers getting what they want?
Well,
regulating what you
not
see.
even that, because that's not the advertisers. That is the social liberal commentary controlling everybody and succumbing to it. So everybody felt the need to jump in. The people that were jumping in were liberal, and we got these people who were very liberal in their beliefs, and they were saying, well, I agree, I hate this leftist bullshit. Oh, okay. So you can call this leftist bullshit, and that isn't vulgar because you're gay and you are a liberal. But if somebody that we know is conservative, or not, I'm not even conservative. I'm literally just a rational person trying to ask questions here. But somebody that we know isn't liberal, because I surely ain't that. Like, I'm a philosophical liberal. I don't care what my neighbor does. Dude, I hope my neighbor, you could be gay, you could be dressing in dresses. I don't care what you're doing next door. Don't affect what I'm doing here, though. Don't try to take my guns. Don't try to take my joints. Don't try to, tell me what I need to do. And I'm going to tell you what you need to do, right? Right? Like, at some point. So, the same person that is trying to control that can call it leftist bullshit because it's coming from them. But when I call it hippie, that's a call for action. We all need to attack.
Dude, I could be a hippie. I don't know.
Dude, call me a hippie and I would just laugh.
That goes back to earlier.
What's wrong with that? But you could call it leftist bullshit, and it's okay because it's coming from you.
But it's on the toxic wasteland of Facebook.
So what's funny is every person also, what'd they say? Oh, yeah, no, this is wrong, but you also need to criticize the right.
We criticize the right.
I would pose a question on these people that I know that they would not be able to pose back to me because I would not come out with the same answer. I would love to ask them, okay, hold me to that standard. Every time that I criticize the left, you get to pipe in and kind of sweep it under the rug. Not necessarily justify, because you get to say that it is ridiculous, but you kind of sweep it under the rug and go, whoa, but you need to criticize the right too. You can't just say they're bad.
I could sit here for
Hold on, but that being the case, if you're going to sweep, are you going to, are you yourself, if you're going to say, when I post liberal stuff, I need to also criticize the right, when you criticize the right, because we know you do, we know you don't miss a chance to attack a Trump tweet, we know you don't miss a chance to attack what's going on in Congress and healthcare bill and blah, they're taking the tax, everything. Have you ever posted a Facebook post that has criticized the left? And I don't care what you lie to yourself and tell yourself, you know that isn't the case. It is not the case. You've never gone, well, we are pushing a little far. Like, if we're trying to be tolerant, we are trying to make these people, succumb to a little bit too much of what we want. No. But if you come to me, pose that same logic that you are posing on me, you will see that I criticize the right. Because they are insane. They are lost.
Oof.
They are wrong.
Maybe we'll get into this some other time, but opiates. Oof.
What about them?
Dude, the right is lost. Those are not painkillers. Those are pain starters.
Wait, why do you say the right's lost?
The conservatives?
Yeah.
Pumping money from prescription pill companies to support opiates?
You did know Trump ran on the platform of, taking down the opiate industry.
Has he?
That's what he, ran on.
Has he?
Yeah.
How?
Well, I'm not saying that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Hey, now.
That's what he ran on. He also said we're building a wall. That thing looks great. Let me tell you.
Hey, we're a year in.
Hey.
Don't
we
take
are.
away.
It's not good.
I think that wall's steamrolling a little quicker than people
the only wall
like to
Trump's
admit.
hitting is how many golf games he can get in a day.
How many golf games did you get in today?
I was striping balls on the range.
Yeah.
I'm a golfer.
Right.
I don't blame him.
And then, I guess also in addition to that, you got these same people who are like, you need to focus your efforts, man. Don't be getting mad over, dude, don't be getting mad over, these moms not wanting these allergies in the movies because, come on, man. And that's the same person who's trying to tell me to focus my efforts, who just spent their entire evening yelling at the word hippie. But instead, we're going to ignore the fact that now instead of reporting on poisonous water in Michigan, infant mortality rates that are worse than third world countries, we've got people starving and dying and left and right. Our country is, it's got its dark shadows that we ignore because we convinced ourselves that the problem is elsewhere. And now instead of focusing on what's going on globally and what's going on politically, legitimately, because if we talked about legitimate, facts and news, we wouldn't be able to twist it and, be able to convince people.
But should we regulate
otherwise.
so people only see the facts and news?
No, you should be able to get the news from us if you want. You know what I'm saying?
So guess what? We're going to run into these problems.
But you can't let Unilever out here tell them that they can't say whatever they want. But at the same time, the same person who's saying focus your efforts is ignoring the fact that now this is ignoring all the real problems, and they just spent a whole evening yelling at the word hippie as they call that same hippie stuff liberal or leftist bullshit. Their words, not mine. Their words, not mine. At what point do you go, you're a living hypocrite? You call for tolerance, but don't tolerate anything that contradicts you. You call for focusing your efforts, but your effort is focused on yelling at people on Facebook.
Yeah, and that goes, if we do have problems, which we do have problems in America, literally, you can't be, I displayed my affection on social media. It must be, I have a cause of action. What's my plan and how am I going to change it? If that means reaching out to your congressman, if that means talking to your neighbor, we need to be inclusive of these opinions in correct form, not you should do this and I can't do that and you need to listen to me. By either side, by jumping in and saying, let's solve the shit out of this.
Plus, it also comes down to,
I think that's,
where do you draw the line? At what point is art? And you just don't have to look at it. But I had somebody trying to compare the using somebody's food allergy against them, comparing that to incest, and saying that, he posted an article how in PA, some girl, age 14, was charged with a felony because she used a food allergy against someone at school and, fed her with pineapple and made her choke. That is sickening. Yep. That is gross. But that doesn't take away from the fact that, okay, so what, I'm supposed to stop making movies? Movies are movies. It's art. And he's like, well, well, I don't like seeing it. Like, you don't have to see incest. What's funny is then he like tries to like fix it, and he's like, well, no. What I meant was like if you put it on a scale, you've got like Game of Thrones, which has incest, and you've got like this on a berry, and it's like, wait, no. You were just justifying why we need to get rid of the berry, and now you're like, no, the berry's fine. It's just unbalanced to like an incest.
Scene, to what people see. Back to Modern Warfare. This is where I'm going to tie this little in, and we're watching monkeys on Facebook.
Yes, this is what we needed. News.
But tying this back in is that when I was a kid at 15 years old, I got Modern Warfare, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to play campaign, and I shot up an airport. That's fucked up. But guess what? It's part of that Call of Duty franchise campaign. And, I mean, I think I turned out pretty well. I believe I have good values. I want to support everyone. But, like, it didn't, like, I don't know, it didn't affect me. I don't know what to say. Like, that
well, no, how about this? No. Why did we bring it up? Yeah. It's funny because they called to reject the game. They're like, we need to call the game back. Yeah. Parents want, and they were like, no. All right, we need to take that out of the game. We need to take shooting up the airport out of the game. Right. The creators of the game. All right, we're not going to take away from the fact that is completely messed up.
Yes,
like it shouldn't have been in my game as a 15-year-old.
Now that would never be in a game, so it's not a problem anymore.
Dude, you know what's funny is like I was 15.
That was
you
were 2000.
Like 13. Dude,
that was a 2010 release. I don't even know. That was probably a 2010 release. I'm gonna go with. And now you'll never see that in a video game.
No, you'll never. But what's funny is they called for it back, and they called to take it out, and the makers of the game were like, nope. And like, we're just, nope. Yeah, it was 2015. No, that's not right. 2009.
Yeah, wow. Oof.
But it's just funny because they were like, nah, we're going to keep it, and life moved on. Like, that was forgotten. I played one level in a game for, literally, it wasn't even a level, because a level gives it too much time. You literally, it was like a 30-second span to a minute span where you walked through an airport and mowed down an innocent crowd, and it was messed up.
I played that game for 2 years of my life.
But
how many times did I play that scene? Like,
I did it once.
I'll probably
literally
say
because
twice,
the internet.
because.
Listen, I don't even like playing the campaign. I got to that level just because the news was telling me I wasn't allowed to see it, and I was like, well, now I'm gonna go shoot up a crowd. Like,
but back when I first played that,
that's so messed up. That's so messed up.
I would have not coincided that scene with.
No, but what you're the point is like no, just like did it affect us?
That was part of the storyline.
But no. I think the underlying problem here that everybody misses is that it is a neurological problem that we are experiencing as a society. It isn't. We have 350 million people. Think about odds. Let's break down statistics for people who don't know numbers. Odds. 100%. Take 100 people. What are the odds of all of them being pristine? Their brain wiring being complete to the T? Hell, we'd be lucky if one of them were, right? Come on now. We're humans. Know your place. That being the case, how many of those are going to be so miswired that they can't even be part of society?
Yeah.
But we want to include everybody. Everybody needs to be a part of the world.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, so that being the case, we need to make a social decision as a world. Do we want soldiers walking the halls? Or do we want to have a comfortable world where we live in? Like, we don't want to be that regime. We don't want to have soldiers marching the wall. Like, at what point do we go, all right, we don't want to be that, so we want to be,
But we need to regulate
we don't want to be
Facebook,
scary.
So we don't see the scary stuff either.
Right. So you have people who, I'm not going to say our brains are even the best wired, because they're not. But they're well wired. They're not even great. They're just well. We manage. We made it to law school, so we're not idiots. No. That being the case, we were able to play some crazy games. I mean, I'm gonna get to, there's a real and look at boom. Oh, if it was a few years later, I'd be scared for myself. So like we hit the nail. We literally cracked the bat right on the sweet spot. Yeah. But it's just funny that like it didn't affect me. So that being the case, we can't hinder the people who can handle it because there's people who can't. But we also can't not acknowledge the fact that we are naive and have no clue. We are so naive on brain, like neurology and brain science and chemistry and psychology. Like, we are so ignorant, it's crazy, and it's to our own detriment, because then we sit there and go to Facebook and spend hours going, hey, we need to call for Congress because these assholes need to do work. And it's like, what are they going to do? No. The question is, what are they going to do? What do you want them to do besides all they can do is put soldiers in your halls. And we've agreed as a society we don't want that.
But I think this
is what we need.
I think that's a question of this episode. Would you rather have soldiers in the hall of an elementary school? Or what's the other option? Soldiers in the hall of an elementary school, or
succumb to our vulnerability of
school
mental
shooting
health
every 15 days.
It's not happening every 15 days.
Of 2018.
Like, don't even, like...
That's what Ben Shapiro
It's crazy,
said.
but it's out of 350 million people, right? No. Like at some point, like, just statistics, you're a big-ass group of people.
There's going to be a school shooting every now and then.
Boom. You're not a neighborhood of 100 people. 350 million.
How do we stop that? Do you want police in the hallways of elementary schools? I give my opinion.
What is it?
We need federal regulation. It needs to be all federal.
Whoa.
For gun control?
So do you want the soldiers in the hallway or not?
Put soldiers in the hallway. Guess what? My kids won't die then.
That's where I'm at. But then you're becoming a military state. This is very scary.
Society.
This is not what we want. It's interesting, man.
I can't even get into my high school now to do an internship. I'd put money on it. That's how locked down they are.
You're probably right.
But it's not enough.
But you see, that's also the point. Okay.
But guess what? When the bell rang at 8 a.m. and the back door locked,
rethink tank.
My buddy would open it.
Let's try to rack our brains here for a second.
So rethinking our topic today.
The school shootings really started happening. They sure as hell were not happening when our parents were kids. They were not.
No.
Columbine struts around. Now, Columbine, just like, these guys were not... They weren't autistic. They weren't, like, mentally disabled. Obviously, they had neuro problems we couldn't see.
No.
But the scary part is that these were rational, functioning guys. And they kicked off a movement of school shootings that would snowball into something insane. It really wasn't a thing. Like, that was before us.
Yeah.
And then during us... No, I'm saying us. When we were in grade school... 10 years ago. Like,
nothing.
That being the case, there was really nothing.
I did a tornado drill.
Now, I will say, there's some buddies from Brecksville, they'll be able to tell you, we did have intruder drills. We definitely had intruder drills growing up. But we all laughed at them because it was never even on our radar. This was even a thing. And it really wasn't until I was a senior in high school when Chardon, which was a local school in Ohio, there was a Chardon shooting, and I met a girl in college who ended up being a close friend of ours who was from Chardon, and just hearing her story was insane, and just like it made it very real. We're in high school and this just happened very close, and it was a very real school shooting. And this guy was so sick. When he went to we're not even going to get into it.
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
But
rethink. Yeah. I say,
why is it a thing now? Wasn't it what's causing the snowball? What could it be?
Maybe a toxic wasteland called Facebook. That you believe everything you see.
The guns have not increased.
Guns have not increased. Gun control.
Can we say that guns have become more intense? For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Like,
You put a gun in the correct hand of someone able, and we're going to reference, we have a buddy in law school very capable of handling weapons on this last topic.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Bridgham. If you're listening this
Wayne Bear Brigham.
I'll hear about it. You put a good post. Oh, Wayne, you post. Dude, you're good at this. I gotta find it. But basically, Wayne put a post up.
No, find it.
He,
I got it. So...
Where is it?
I guess coming back to like the question I posed, you know, what could be snowballing gun shootings? We all have to agree the fact that there has not been an increase in guns. Like, we got more guns. No.
Dude, I don't know.
No. Like, there was no regulation back in the day. They were just flowing and handing left and right. Here, have a gun. I mean, the biggest thing is globalization. It comes down to the fact that we have massive globalization. We have more humans contacting each other. Before, we were all isolated in our own little tiny corners. I mean, you had a call. They had a community line. You remember that? Like, my parents or my uncle would tell me about the community line, where there was a line, you'd pick it up, and you'd hear Mrs. Johnson down the street talking to someone on the phone. You go, up, can't talk, gotta wait, and they'd hang up, and then you'd have to come back an hour later. No one's using it. Now you can use the community line. Like, it was very hard to contact people.
We evolve as people.
And I think maybe the massive amounts of contact with people have to do something. I mean, here's the fact of the matter, and we cannot deny this. If you take somebody who is mentally insane, somebody who is mentally on the edge, somebody who thinks who wants to kill themselves, they want to end their life. I'm out, I'm done, the world sucks, people treat me poorly, I'm out. You take that person and you tell them, you can become an instant celebrity if you do this. You will be on the news all day, every day, for a week if you commit a school shooting. Somebody going there like, I'm going to kill myself anyway, might as well become an instant celebrity.
His face.
We are our own enemy. We are making these people famous. If, you know, there's racism. Did they have, you know, the gay shooting in Florida? Did they have to show that he was Muslim? They said that he was incorporated with ISIS and he wasn't. It was racism. Well, it turned out he kind of was. And it doesn't change the fact that they didn't have to tie him to Islam. That's just like subconscious, like Bologna, and we're sitting here trying to like brainwash everybody. You know, there's some validity to that. And if you want to appease those people and also kind of maybe solve the subject of what we're dealing with today, you don't need to show the person's face. You don't need to say their name. You don't need to interview their mom. You don't need to make it real life to the point where you give them the power and satisfaction of making them an instant celebrity to the nation of 350 million people. You sit there and go, instead of going, Billy Johnson, show his face and go, this kid, this one did it. Instead, you just go, there was a school shooting. This sickening event has occurred and you know, taken advantage of our society again. And then move on. And go and put your movie or your puppy video clip, NBC, you know, ABC 6, like, and then move on to, you know, some other shooting that you got for us. Like, you know, you guys are. It's the news. It's the news. It's the constant globalization.
Toxicity, and that's the last thing I'll say. That we bask.
What was this you had?
Oh, this is just. Apparently, the school shooting suspect is part of a white nationalist group, Mr. Nicholas Cruz.
CBS
the leader
News.
of a white nationalist group.
He is?
Said he participated in paramilitary drills in Tallahassee. The Republic of Florida for the military, or this white nationalist group, said he acted on his own behalf of what he just did, and he's solely responsible for what he just did. So not even the same people of the white nationalist group can get on the same page. I don't think anyone's getting on the same page.
Right. But no, how funny is it that, like, everything's got to become a social wedge? Yep. We can't just, like, report the news.
Can't report
here we got CBS. Right. CBS can't sit here and take it for, like, the tragedy it is. It needs to pose black people and Muslims and Asians and everyone else against white people now. Like, I'm part of this category. I'm now responsible for this psychopath's moves. Like, CBS took it upon themselves to write an article and attribute it to a category. Like, okay, we cannot deny that a lot of these crazy acts come from white people. We also can't deny that the crazy, common crime that just crawls the street of St. Louis and Chicago and everywhere else is the other races. So it's not like, but that's the point. The point is to convince you that the other race, the other category is worse. So now, all the other categories get to sit back and attribute to me and you this.
Yeah.
Dude, we live in a crazy world, man. This is why you're not allowed to talk on subjects like this. Because it's your fault. You are responsible for the sins of your category.
That's what I got.
Well, on that, we leave you. It's been fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll wait.
Think about that.
Yeah, can't wait to see you next week.
Yeah.
Hey, don't post too much on Facebook.
Yeah.
Hippies out.
Good shit.